So it looked like this Indiana Fever situation is a hot mess, man. I'll be one of the first people to tell you, once I got off live stream last night, I received a treasure trove of DMs of people analyzing and lip reading exactly what Caitlin Clark talked about. Well, if you guys watched the stream last night, we was one of the first people to break that story down and pretty much say, hey, something's off here. Something's look a little wrong. So from what I've heard from several credible people is that the play was supposed to be the same play they ran against Washington when Caitlin Clark won the game and hit the logo 3.
During a tense stretch on the Indiana Fever bench, Kelsey Mitchell appeared to be struggling as the game's pressure mounted. Caitlin Clark's sharp passing created an open opportunity, but the play revealed a disconnect in execution and timing. Mitchell missed a shot and showed frustration after the sequence, drawing attention to the growing tension on the court. Moment fueled discussion among fans about chemistry issues and decision-making within the team, as questions continue to arise about how the offense is being coordinated around Clark's playmaking.
Play was supposed to be the same play they ran against Washington when Caitlin Clark won the game and hit the logo 3. At the final seconds, allegedly, Stephanie White changed the play. And basically, I believe Maisha Hines-Allen decided to pass it to Kelsey Mitchell. Now, at the conclusion of that play, we see Caitlin Clark walk to the bench. Stephanie White said, it's going to be okay. Caitlin Clark said, no, it's not. But something I have given...
The sequence began with a design play meant to replicate a deep logo 3 Clark had previously converted against Washington. Stephanie White drew up the set, but the execution quickly broke down, with the ball ending up in Kelsey Mitchell's hands instead of Caitlin Clark. The play collapsed, and cameras caught a tense exchange between White and Clark afterward. White attempted to calm the situation, but Clark's blunt response signaled clear frustration. The moment sparked concern within the organization about communication and execution under pressure.
There's a lot of players that just don't understand the fundamentals of basketball. See, it's one thing to put the ball in a hole and find a way to get to the basket, but it's another way to analyze the game and let your brain be a data center for that game. And there's several players, like I stated, that don't have that data installed in their brains. And I just hate to say this, but I have to be completely honest with you guys. Kelsey Mitchell is that player, one of the players that just do not have the data to process the game in its entirety. Hence possibly why she don't ever pass the ball, because she might not even know herself.
This isn't just about one missed basket or a bad pass. It is about recurring execution and decision-making gaps that are becoming harder for the Indiana Fever to ignore. Earlier comments from Sophie Cunningham about improving awareness and communication have resurfaced in fan discussions, even if no specific players were named. Recent game tape has fueled debate about how certain lineups process the game in real time. Kelsey Mitchell has increasingly been pointed to in conversations about consistency and shot selection under pressure overall situations.
The Clark and Stephanie White thing, it ain't working. No matter how much you guys try to put a Band-Aid on this, no matter how much you guys try to get a first aid kit out and fix it, and you might win a game or two here, the holes and the flaws are still there, and we're damn near going into month 3. Because month 3 of the WNBA season is next month. And we ultimately know what happened last July. On July 13th, that was Caitlin Clark's final basketball game. That is a month from tomorrow. It'll make a year. Caitlin Clark was out that game, and we never seen Caitlin Clark.
In a late game situation against the Chicago Sky, Indiana's decision-making came under scrutiny after a critical possession with the Fever leading by 5 and under a minute remaining. Instead of managing the clock, Kelsey Mitchell drove into heavy defensive pressure, resulting in a low percentage attempt that shifted momentum. The play drew frustration from teammates, including Caitlin Clark, whose reaction reflected the tension on the floor. Analysts later pointed to possession as a key turning point that raised questions about game management in crunch time.
That was Caitlin Clark's final basketball game. That is a month from tomorrow. It'll make a year. Caitlin Clark was out that game, and we never seen Caitlin Clark no more the entire season. So when you talk about how great of a player Caitlin Clark is, all these greatest 10-point games plus, 20-point games plus assists, Caitlin Clark has broken all of these records with only a year and a half worth of basketball. This is startling to know, because had she not got hurt, she would have been still digging.
In the closing seconds against Chicago Sky, Indiana faced a crucial possession up 3 with 7 seconds remaining. The plan was simple: secure the inbound, protect the ball, and seal the game at the free throw line. Instead, Mitchell caught the pass, but her focus drifted toward the basket, leading to a costly turnover under pressure. The mistake shifted momentum and drew immediate criticism for poor situational awareness in a decisive moment. It proved costly as Indiana lost control of a winnable game finish sequence and
Clark knows Stephanie White's system is ass. Caitlin Clark don't want to play in Stephanie White's system because it's ass. I believe Caitlin Clark had voiced her frustration about Stephanie White's system because it is so much ass. I believe the conflict is coming from Caitlin Clark questioning if Stephanie White's system could be successful, not just for her as a player, her style of play, but can it be successful to win a championship? This is my theory. This is my opinion. And I believe
in one possession, Mitchell drove into a double team while Aaliyah Boston and Maisha Hines-Allen were both open with clear passing lanes available. A simple kick out or extra pass could have created an easy scoring opportunity, but the play stalled as she kept the dribble alive. The decision added to ongoing concerns about spacing and ball movement within the offense. Playing alongside Caitlin Clark, whose vision constantly creates advantages, Indiana relies on quick reads and awareness to fully capitalize on open teammates and offensive flow.
Really get my point across, because there's so much stuff happening, and to me, it's just not, it's damn near unfixable. You have to get a whole new coach, whole new system. That's why the front office got to be held accountable, because it's just unfixable. They can try to band-aid it, but it's unfixable. Let's watch.
Kelsey Mitchell is a talented scorer, but she might have the worst basketball IQ of anyone I've ever seen. Look at this play here. She gets the steal, and the Fever are up by 5 with a minute left. So in this situation, all you want to do is hold it and bleed the clock and get a good shot. But no, she drives into the paint over 2 defenders at 5'8", and it's a turnover. This is genuinely worse than...
In a defensive sequence against Chicago, Indiana held a 7-point lead when Mitchell committed a costly foul on a 3-point attempt. Instead of containing the shot without contact, she hooked the shooter's arm and made additional contact from behind, resulting in a 3-shot foul. The decision swung momentum and added pressure late in the game. It highlighted ongoing concerns about situational awareness and defensive discipline in critical moments. For a team still defining its identity, such lapses can be difficult to recover from in tight contests.
This situation, all you want to do is hold it and bleed the clock and get a good shot, but no, she drives into the paint over 2 defenders at 5'8", and it's a turnover. This is genuinely worse than the Fox play. They're up by 3 here with 7 seconds left. All they have to do is inbound the ball and hold it, because they're going to get fouled. Look at how she's looking at the rim. She was genuinely going to shoot this ball, and because of that, she doesn't control it, and it's a turnover. I've never seen anyone dribble the air out of the basketball more than Mitchell. Look at how she drives and draws too, and she's got Aaliyah Boston and Hines-Allen both wide open with tons of space to make the pass, but she just doesn't. Fever up by 7 here with a minute left. You know the Sky are going to try to get something quick. All you got to do is contest without foul.
Caitlin Clark is widely recognized for a style of basketball built on movement, spacing, and rapid decision-making. In that context, stretches where Indiana's offense becomes more stagnant have fueled discussion among fans and analysts about fit and execution within the system. Some observers point to moments where the ball stops moving quickly after it reaches certain possessions, leading frustration on the sideline and visible emotion during games. These reactions are often interpreted as competitive intensity rather than anything deeper, reflecting a player who wants the right reads made in real time. At the same time, attention is turned toward how well the current roster and coaching structure are maximizing Clark's off-ball impact and overall offensive gravity under Stephanie White's system. As the season progresses, debates around consistency, spacing, and late-game execution have grown louder, especially among fans looking for clearer identity and smoother offensive flow. However, within any developing team, these growing pains are common, and adjustments often take time, repetition, and lineup stability to fully settle. The broader conversation now centers on alignment between personnel and system, and whether continued in-season refinements can better unlock the group's full potential before frustrations begin to define the narrative. As the Indiana Fever move into the next stretch of season, attention is increasing on how the team is developing its chemistry and offensive identity. With Caitlin Clark continuing to draw defensive attention and create opportunities through her playmaking, the focus has shifted to how consistently the surrounding pieces are able to convert those advantages into efficient possessions. Discussions around rotations, ball movement, and late-game execution have placed additional scrutiny on head coach Stephanie White and the overall system being implemented. At the same time, veteran guard Kelsey Mitchell remains a key scoring option whose role and decision-making within certain possessions are being closely analyzed by fans and commentators. As with many teams undergoing adjustment phases, the Fever are working to refine communication and consistency as the season progresses. Expectations are high, and external attention has intensified every possession. But the internal goal remains finding a sustainable balance between individual scoring ability and collective execution. How the team responds over the coming weeks will likely shape the broader narrative of their season, particularly as they continue to integrate talent and refine their on-court structure. Internal adjustments will determine whether progress comes quickly or slowly overall here.